Welcome back to another edition of Raw is Retro. I'm Lord Manny Hayes. Once again, filling in for the big Ross man is that guy right over there.
It's Sting! I'm sorry. It's just Marcus, the grand finale. Sorry.
This
I just
is a
wanted to yell that.
WCW on TNT. This isn't WCW Nitro is Retro.
Why are we doing Nitro as retro? So much chaos.
No, because we decided we wanted to watch Ken Shamrock versus Nation for 12 months.
We have been punished by God. You must watch Ken Shamrock versus Nation. Although in these set of episodes or whatever, it's been 3 weeks since I've seen Ken Shamrock fight The Rock. So, it's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
So this episode is the 19th of October 1998, coming from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, from the Bradley Center.
You think that's still around? I doubt it.
I don't think so.
If it is, it's not definitely called the Bradley Center. That's for damn sure. Something stupid.
We start off with Vince McMahon celebrating that Stone Cold Steve Austin is gone.
Yes, he is happy. And fire Steve Austin. You want to know what that feels like, Manny? You want to feel what it feels like? It was better than sex.
On the night of the November 15th at Survivor Series, Vince guarantees there will be a new undisputed WWF champion because there's going to be a 16-man tournament to make it so.
One night tournament. We just had a one night tournament. We had an 8-man one night tournament last week, Vince. Now we get a 16-man. Vince was on some tournament shit. Maybe this is why in modern day he hates tournaments.
I think a young Tony Khan is watching this, loving this. This is why we get AEW with millions of tournaments.
No, this is when Tony Khan was like, you know what would be a good idea? Interim champion and tournaments.
So Vince revels in Austin being fired and his face when he said it.
Yes. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's without a job. He's unemployed.
Austin makes a comment starting hunting scenes early last night. Vince says he must have meant hunting for a job. and guess who had a good laugh at that on commentary? Jerry Lawler.
Yes. He's under a job.
He said if Austin ever enters an arena where a WWE show is being held, he'd have to buy a ticket just like everybody else.
Yeah, tell him Vince. This is victory from a villain.
He addresses the WWF roster at the time. He says, I hope they've learned the lesson. Never cross the boss, because none of them are as big as Vince McMahon. And Vince McMahon mentions another rumor that Austin 316 shirts are now collector's items because they won't be made anymore. However, there is a new expression that will soon sweep the globe. Vince McMahon 316, I've got the brass to fire your ass.
My favorite thing is about, people who are in there are feuding, like Goldust and Val Venus, just casually standing next to each other. Like it's like, yeah, the headbangers and the oddities just like, yeah, damn, I can't believe he fired Steve Austin. But we're all in jeopardy.
Yeah, but then we find that
The Rock standing on a ring post.
Then we find that Steve Austin's here, Marcus. He's here with a hunting rifle.
Yeah. And immediately I would call the police, but it's Wisconsin. You have the right to bear arms, I guess, and go wild in the streets. But he's threatening people.
Vince and his security entourage follow him to the back. First thing first, he wants Big Bossman to go get his family in the building, out of town. He also wants a cameraman to stay in his office so everything can be documented.
I need everything documented, man. I need everybody to see what happened here. What's going to happen here. Witness what's going to happen here. We're about to get a casual workplace shooting. Okay? A casual workplace shooting is about to happen here. That's what it appeared like we were building up to. And not only should Vince McMahon be terrified, everybody in the arena should be terrified. And it's going casually as if we're just going to run the show as normal. As Jim Ross goes, I hope Austin doesn't do anything we will regret. He's already carrying two guns, and is wearing hunting gear and is threatening to kill somebody.
So we get to our first match of the night. It's X-Pac versus Ken Shamrock.
I feel like you've said that like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, it happens way too often. Um, Mankind makes his way into this match. Takes his time because Shamrock takes his time to get into the ankle lock.
Yes.
He brings Mankind into the ring, but gets a mandible claw. Shamrock breaks loose with a belly-to-belly suplex, but then he staggers into an X Factor for X Pac to get the win. X Pac runs backstage to find out what happens to Chyna.
Oh, yeah, she
What
was
did happen?
arrested.
Chyna
She
was
got
arrested.
arrested. Yeah. What did she do? Never explained throughout this show. Then she took it like a champ. And as Jerry Lawler said, they're going to arrest Chyna, but not arrest that lunatic in the parking lot with two guns, right, threatening to come in.
Yeah, but once the police were done dealing with Chyna, they just decide to patrol the perimeter. I'm guessing, or secure a perimeter because they see Stone Cold with his with his gun, and then they just love it.
Like, oh, what is this? What you got? What is this? And they're like, finally going to get him. Oh, and he starts signing autographs for people. What are we doing here? We've had so many mass shootings in modern day, that you look at this and be like, oh man, this is how this happens. This is how this happens. Police are terrible and incompetent.
Vince is freaking out backstage because the police aren't even doing anything because they're just asking Austin for autographs. He's a madman with a gun.
Look at this. He's a madman with a gun, and clearly he's probably been drinking.
Vince tells the canine policeman
drunk
to take his dog and go arrest Steve Austin. Use your firearm if you need to. That really pisses off the officer, and so he tells Vince to go screw himself and leaves the dog. Vince goes back to freaking out because he needs protection from the lunatic.
And this was a trend of all his guys just leaving randomly. Hey, I'm going to go get me a cookie or something. I'm going over
here. We get a Headbangers versus Animal and Droz.
The new and improved Headbangers pick up the win. The new and improved Headbangers pick up the win, Ready?
Yeah, and then there's problems.
Animal hawk distraction. I'm yelling strategy. I didn't do anything. What I do?
Pat Patterson tries to calm down Vince with some coffee. Briscoe and Slaughter both leave with Patterson because I guess it takes 3 people to go get coffee for one guy. Now Vince is alone.
Yeah. Well, they were getting the hell out of there, Ready? They're not getting shot.
Of course. Vince is shown in his dressing room and somebody knocks on the door. It's just Mankind and the new head of security, Sheriff Socko. Mankind brings him some candy corn because Vinnie Mac has a sweet tooth. Vince says he's happy to see him there because everybody else has deserted him. Mankind continues to talk through Socko, which is just so funny, Marcus.
Yes. Such good shit right here. That's all I can say. Just all of it. Mankind going in there, the people abandoning Vince to go get the coffee. And I think the phone call happens right here, right? Or that's the next segment.
No, that's slightly afterwards because right now Undertaker's in the ring with Paul Bearer and they're about to spit some hate.
They've reunited. And don't it feel so good? And first thing Undertaker goes and says, you wonder why I have aligned myself with such a despicable, horrible, God-forsaken hell of a man, a demon, a piece of shit. He smells horrible, and he's an ass. Well, I just answered that question. I wasn't even a piece of shit. I don't know if to take that as a compliment or to go like, fuck you, man.
He also says because Paul Bearer is evil, that's why Paul Bearer has the vision to truly understand the power of the darkness. He's allowed the Undertaker to clear his mind and refocus on his purpose.
Yes.
The Ministry of Darkness will plague the WWF like no other and won't be understood by anyone not part of the darkness. Because you're
Yes.
either part of the darkness or you're against the darkness. What the fuck is he talking about?
What are you talking about? You either with the darkness or you're against the dark. Wait, are you declaring that? Are we
That
like
sounds like something a clans
say?
person would say.
Yeah, you either with the darkness or you're against the darkness. Yeehaw. Yeehaw.
Paul Bearer gets on the mic, puts down Kane for being weak and stupid. He'll never understand the darkness, and that's why Paul Bearer is through with him.
This makes no sense.
Undertaker admits he was the one that started the fire that burned Kane all those years ago.
Who did start the fire?
It was
What the fuck? All this, so you trying to tell me all this time I've been back in the Undertaker when he's telling Paul, he's slapping him, telling him the truth, and then all this shit's been going on, and then he set the house on fire intentionally. What the fuck, Undertaker? Yeah, I did it.
Marcus, he also said he set the fire because Kane was weak, but there was no room for the weak because only the strong will survive.
How old was he when he started this fire? He sounds like an 80-year-old man when he started.
Kane's music hits.
Gran Torino. Hey, I had to burn up my entire family because Kane was weak.
Kane comes down to the ring and rolling down a casket. Looks like we're having a casket match tonight. Not that I didn't think we needed one.
Impromptu casket match. Kane goes to the mic. Undertaker. We'll have a casket match. Okay.
We're back in Vince McMahon's office where Mankind and Vince are eating snacks. It looks like a sleepover. Looks like Mankind is trying to convince McMahon to rehire Steve Austin to form a 4-person clique. McMahon, Austin, Mankind, and of course Mr. Zocco. Vince explains he had to have Austin fired on principle, which is something Mankind could never understand. He pulls out a twister board and goes into commercial.
Yes. Most random shit ever. How do you come up with it? Let's pull out Twister board.
He kicks him out. Vince yells at Mankind for playing Twister and kicks him out of his office. There's a man with a gun, Mick. There's a man with a gun looming.
This is a time for games, Mick. There's a man looming with a gun, and no one's doing anything about it. My life's in jeopardy.
Steve Blackman versus Jeff Jarrett with a debuting Deborah.
Yes, I guess Steve Blackman is back from his injury and at full time now that he's not getting his workers' comp anymore or whatever.
Jim Ross is speculating that it's the Blue Blades are so in heart. Not much reaction. This match kind of just happened.
Deborah didn't add anything to this, but this
not
is
this moment
Jarrett,
in time.
I know. Yeah.
The Blue Blades does run out and jump Blackman, and with a belly to belly for the DQ.
He attacks again, and this is the Owen Hart I know.
And then Jarrett and the Blue Blazer put the boots to Steve Blackman. As Al Snow and Head appear, and they get caught in Deborah's trance, allowing Jarrett to hit him with the guitar.
Yes, in the back of the head. See, they're violent. I can't believe he fell for Deborah's trance.
We check in with Vince, and the phone rings, and after some deep thought, Vince McMahon finally answered the phone. It's Steve Austin. Time's up, you Vince. Sorry bastard. He's coming to get you.
Gonna get you. And it's gonna take you out. It's over. It's all over tonight.
Vince is trying to escape.
Please.
He's trying to escape his limo driver. He's checking to see if Austin's anywhere. He doesn't see Austin, but Vince asked him to leave the engine running and get the back door open. Vince is obviously trying to make a run for it. Yes. As he gets to the car, Steve Austin appears on the other side, grabs Vince McMahon with a hunting bow in his other arm.
Yeah.
Where is it? This man has brought a severe arsenal with him.
Yeah, the dude looks like fucking Hawkeye out there, and no one's doing anything. No one's doing anything. He has every weapon. He has a knife that's later exposed. He has bow and arrows, guns. The police are doing nothing. He's invaded the building. He doesn't work there no more. He's beaten a man who's crippled in a wheelchair. And this is our
He's banging
hero?
his leg.
This
He's banging his busted up ankle into everything as he wheels him back into the arena.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. How is this a
Uh,
sympathetic person? Austin's out of control.
He is out of control. But after the break, we see Vince McMahon and Austin in the back. Austin asks McMahon if he's ever hunted before. McMahon says he went hunted once, but it was only a safari, and he took pictures.
Yeah,
Austin asked McMahon if a knife like this one. Austin asked McMahon if a knife like the one in Austin's hand would take out an elephant. Vince doesn't or can't answer him.
I would like to answer and say no. What's your answer to that question, Manny?
I don't think it would. An elephant's too big.
And that knife wouldn't be able to hold my cocaine, let alone kill an elephant. It was a little pig sticker.
We get The Rock versus D'Lo Brown. They changed The Rock's music and it sounds terrible.
Yeah. I was like, what is this? I was like, did they change? Why did they switch this? What is this?
Because
they get it right.
Because D'Lo's still using nation music.
Yeah, they get it right. They get it right. They eventually get it right. That's the beauty of knowing the future. They eventually get it right. But
yeah, so basically The Rock beats him up and wins. Mark Henry comes out and then they get the double team on The Rock, and then Mark Henry hits the big splash. Yeah, that was it.
Yep.
But The Rock no sells the injury because he gets up and walks away. As his terrible music plays.
Yeah. No, this is the almost complete end of the nation. As in, the Godfather has went. Jim Ross, the Godfather has went his separate ways.
The Godfather's missing. Oh wait, the Godfather's now pimping, isn't he?
Yeah, he pimping. This is official debut of full pimping Godfather tonight.
What do we have here? So Austin now is now doing a what would you call it? A weapon exhibition, as he's now eating an apple with a knife. He's showing Vince McMahon how to use a bow.
Yep. I mean, if you're gonna hunt a man, and if you can do whatever you want, I guess why not? Why not?
So 2 weeks ago, you said Dan DeBee is the biggest square ever.
Yeah, he's just a Jenga block.
But Tiger Ali Singh came out in the biggest suit I've ever seen in my life. I have never seen a suit jacket bigger than that.
No, he looked like the whole fucking closet. Like he brought the whole closet with him and decided to put that on. Like, put it on my back. Why was he dressed in a football uniform and a tie? The NFL presents the Nassau Billionaires.
And then he's paid a hoe, essentially, because Godfather comes out and he was one of his hoes to swallow a hot dog whole. And she does it twice.
Yeah. I've imagined Vince saw her do it. So it's like, wow. We'll get her on TV right away. This is his Luigi Primo moment of putting random people on his show. Like, she has a talent. She can swallow that whole kielbasa. But the thing is, what did how did the Godfather know that this old asshole that he called her was gonna be the one chosen?
I think he was watching in the back. He's like, I know her. I mean, he was in the back and he was like, I know her.
1-800 Godfather.
Austin is now.
We're gonna skip the whole Babu and The whole
Yeah, I don't
segment.
want to talk about that. I think we've covered it. I think we covered it.
We're done. We're done. They fight, though. They fight.
Because the real thing about this show is Austin has now taped Vince McMahon's legs
Well, it's
and
not more
taped his
serious
mouth.
than a man I held at gunpoint. I don't know. People are just going on with their job with Austin in the building with his guns, holding Vince McMahon hostage. There could be someone could have been murdered tonight.
Marcus, as we all know, we know what happens to Owen Hart in the next year.
Oh yeah.
And what did Vince McMahon preference this with? The show must go on. So if he is being held up by gunpoint, the show must go on.
Continue the show, guys. Continue the show. All right, man.
It's Mankind versus Val Venus. Ken Shamrock just interferes.
Yeah, it's nothing really happens here. Nothing honestly happens.
For 3 minutes, I was bored out of my mind.
It happened. I don't know why.
So much on this show happens.
Yes.
Goldust music
hits.
Yeah. Goldust music hits with Val Venus and Terry left alone in the ring. Goldust shows up on the Titantron, quoting First Blood. He vows to shatter Val's dreams again and again, so he'll never forget the name of Goldust. It will never be over, Marcus. This feud will go on for eternity.
Yeah. Into the depths of hell.
Val now leaves Terry, walks away from Terry.
Yeah, I mean, he should have did that a long time ago. She's clearly been toxic the whole time. No stable on this show. Very rare.
Yeah, Austin can't find a sledgehammer, but he's going to carry out his plan to involve physical pain anyway.
It's gonna be quick, Vince. It's gonna be over like that. It's gonna be over like that. Fuck.
Austin asked Vince McMahon to pick a winner between Undertaker and Kane. McMahon doesn't want to play, but he finally decides to pick Kane. You know, that felt like when Eric asked me, who was it? It was Gresham or Nick Aldis, and I begrudgingly picked Nick Aldis.
Yeah, because you're a hiatus. You're a hiatus or sizes.
We do get the casket match with Kane and The Undertaker. This also results in a no finish, but I found it really funny that they were both in the casket, and then they destroyed the casket from within.
Yeah, anything could have happened in that casket. Who knows? But they destroyed. Like, is it a double finish? The casket was closed. I didn't understand the logic behind any of this, and I was like, whatever, get on with it. What's going on with Austin and the gun?
Marcus, would you like to take the lead on this one? Because we're now at the main event where Vince McMahon is being wheeled out to see everyone to see.
Yes. Yeah, this is about to be a mass murdering. And Austin has no demands, really. He's talking his talk, his shit. Vince is in there. He's shivering. Pees his pants. He's pleading
with it. He's pleading for his life as well.
Yeah. Austin shoots gun. It says bang 316. Everybody laughs. But this is no laughing matter. As if Vince McMahon has justified to fuck as many paralegals as he would and do as much hush money because he survived this experience. He thought he was dead. Everybody thought he was dead and it was going to be a public execution. The only way it could end it. Austin didn't even get his job back from this. He didn't even ask for his job back.
He says McMahon 316 means I just pissed my pants.
Hey!
There's a Stone Cold Stunner, and then Austin helps Vince back up to give him one more stunner for the road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good times. Steve Austin's a good guy. Steve
Austin does shove a letter in Vince's pocket.
Yes.
What was in that letter? Nobody knows yet. So let's find out next week.
Yeah, tune in next week. These are the hooks we need to come back to Raw the next week.
I mean, You watched that. Of course you're coming back next week.
Yeah, I mean, they rattled off like some classic moments. Zamboni, submit truck, gun to the head, hospital attack. They rallied up all those in like a span of 4 weeks. I gotta come back next week and see what the fuck can we do next. He pulled a gun on somebody and then a Bugs Bunny bang. That was
Yeah.
amazing. Just peed his pants. Where is revenge coming in the form of the boss man? But how would he? How had to come back next week?
I don't think I got a match of the night this week. How about you?
Fuck it. I give it to Val Venus and Mankind. Me neither. Or Taker Kane casket match, maybe. I don't know.
That wasn't even that good either.
There was
really
nothing that was really that good. Yeah. X Pac versus Shamrock. Nah.
I think for the first time, I think we're gonna have to just give it to the segment across the night. Austin's got a gun.
Yeah. I want to give a least valuable player to the police. The police, damn it.
Well, they're as useful as any colored person involved. Any colored person reporting a crime.
Yeah, doesn't matter. I didn't know when Vince became that dark. You know, like, oh, I reported somebody's going to kill me. Has he did it yet? No, because obviously I'm alive calling you, but he's going to kill me. Yeah, we get there when he kills you. Fuck.
Who is your MVP of the night?
Considering the white privilege was strong, Steve Austin's my MVP of the night just for having a million guns and a million weapons and just walking down the street with it, and dealing with the police. Like, he handled it like a champ.
I fully believe Steve Austin was in the Matrix because he had so many weapons.
Just kept coming out of it.
When Neo said, "I need weapons," and then the millions come out, that's what happened. He had variety as well. It was like knives, bow and arrow.
Yeah. Did he shoot the bow and arrow against something? They didn't show him shoot it, but the arrow
the arrow was lodged into a picture frame.
Yeah, man's talented. He can drive cement shot, shoot bow and arrows. Amazing. Hunting's bad though. I'm not a pro hunting person. Do what you want, but that's not me.
Yeah, so I've also got Austin as my MVP of the week.
Yeah,
and that calls an end to a 4 month of memorable Raws.
Yeah, just moment after moment they rattled off, and it was just like, oh wow, hospital, gun shootings, everything. Like, I could have swore this was all spaced out in my childhood, but
yeah, I thought it was spaced out. I didn't think it was week after week.
Yeah, this is like watching the any hot NFL or NBA or hockey or whatever player just going off on fire. Like, this shit was good. The rest of the shows aren't really that good, but the Steve Austin Vince part, just perfect. Just perfect. It's unmatched. Like, it's like, dang. Like, when you watch it, you just see things on a different level. Like, I don't think anybody, as good of a heel as MJF is, I don't think he could pull off what Vince was doing.
Yeah. So, as we get closer, we're going to end up doing the Survivor Series tournament watch along for 1998. That's going to be a good watch. Hopefully, the Big Rossman will be back by then to join us. Yes. And so that brings us to the end of Raw is Retro. If you like the video, subscribe.
Please.
Like the video. I need more comments, people. I need more comments.
Manny needs the comments. He needs comments from everybody. What was your favorite moment of this episode or the previous episode? Because these are classic moments. I know I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Maybe you do. Maybe it was a segment that we brushed over with the Godfather and the hoes that you wanted us to elaborate on more. Or if there's, or if you have an answer for why Tiger Ali Singh's suit was so boxy, or why would the police in Wisconsin allow Steve Austin to do whatever the hell he wants? If you're from Wisconsin, can I walk around with all those weapons and hang out in the parking lot, threaten somebody?
You probably couldn't
get away with it. Oh no,
you probably couldn't.
I would have been dead. You saw what happened to what was the guy that caused the protest? I forget his name. In Kenosha, Wisconsin, who got shot in the back those times. Who was just reaching, I guess, for a knife or whatever the situation that was. He got fucked up. Steve Austin was able to just, do whatever the hell he wants. Different times,
I think that would have happened back then at the same time.
I guess
to be
police
honest.
show up more. Shout out to the police for showing more discipline back then. I guess I don't know.
Nah.
Fucking.
So yeah. Follow us on all our socials, which are above Marcus's head. Send an email to the show at thesharpshooters@gmail.com. And then we will be back tomorrow with the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast, unless for some reason we decide to take a day off. I don't think we will, but maybe we will at some point. We're working every day, people. We're working every day.
One day, like in Goodwill Hunting, when Ben Affleck knocks on the door and Will isn't there, that'd be you guys are gonna know that hey, they're out there. You don't want us to be here that one day. Like I don't want to see you here no more.
Yeah, so donate to the show if you can, and until next week.